Well, I have found a crazy and controversial story to tell you guys today. It's the story of scientist H.A. Miller and his journal that his granddaughter found in her mother's attic. Wait till you guys hear this story. If some of you guys already have heard this story, trust me, you haven't seen it like this. I do it differently. Secondly, I want to tell you guys, some people think this is a hoax. I'm going to be upfront with you guys. Other people think there's too many details for it to be a hoax. And there are other incidents that line up with this gentleman's story. And also, there are notes in a journal from one of his supposed assistants that I'm going to be making videos about. So this is going to be kind of like a series. So I hope you guys like it. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. Alright, let's get to it. The following was written by Dr. H.A. Miller. Born in New England, December 12, 1909, I was the first and only child of Christina and Arthur Miller. My mother died in childbirth, and I was subsequently raised by my father until remarried to a French woman when I was 12 or 13 years of age. Soon after their marriage, she bore a baby girl. I finished my high school education while living with my father, stepmother, and half-sister. I remained in New England for my undergraduate work. I thoroughly enjoyed the outdoors, the ocean, and forestry. My undergraduate studies focused on forestry and land management, while in my junior and senior year, I was employed by the federal government. I worked at Lockwood Farm, part of the Connecticut Agricultural Experiment Station. I learned about hybridization and agricultural and enjoyed the hard outdoor work in the cornfields. I began to find great interest in the scientific workings happening with corn seed at the time. I completed an additional year in forestry science and graduated in 1931 with a master in the science of forestry. I labored at Lockwood Farm for a few years and gained great interest in science and medicine by this time, and I did hope to attend medical school and become a physician. I expeditiously applied for medical school and was accepted to Harvard and began my medical training in 1938. Graduating from Harvard Medical School in the 1940s, and I completed residency and fellowship at Harvard and began a very specialized career at the time in orthopedic forensic surgery, Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. Because of my previous work with the United States Department of Agriculture, I was quickly employed by the federal government. My early years as a physician related mostly to providing medical support to various employee types, firefighters, etc., within the USDA Fire Service. I also became the forensic expert and anatomist for the USDA and was called to examine most accidental deaths of USDA Fire Service servicemen. Due to my interest in genetics and early experience in agricultural hybridization, I was assigned to scientific teams, which investigated the physical nature of genetics. Our early experiments determined that DNA is the component of the chromosomes where genetics should be studied. This, along with the efforts of several other scientists, led to the discovery of the double helix structure in the early 1950s. It was at this time that several of our team members was called to Bandera County, Texas, where the forestry scientist biologist assigned to Edwards Plateau reported the dead bodies of a strange type of human. The first reports I received were speculating that they were feral humans from the local Comanche Indian tribes. The bodies were supposedly found in or around one of the massive caves within the Edwards Plateau area. When I arrived in Texas, I was surprised to find 3 bodies, 1 adult female and 2 female juveniles. I examined them as I typically would any human subject, but to my dismay, one of these creatures still seemed to be alive. I became quite upset with the local scientists, but they reassured me they confirmed all 3 were deceased. After further investigation, I found that these creatures were not human. They in fact had a remarkable rapid reparative process, hence the reason one of the creatures seemed dead but in fact was regenerating to a degree. Unfortunately, the restorative abilities of the creature were not enough to keep it alive. They were massive in size and distinctly a new primate species unknown to science at the time. I spent years studying these creatures, which are scientifically known as Cebidatilidae. I'll put that one up there on the screen for you guys. Confirming that they were most certainly not human. They were definitely of primate origin, but with traits seen in various species of primate, most of which were New World monkey. Celebrity, I'm just going to call that C for now on, guys. C found in the San Antonio, Texas area very much howl, like a howler monkey, quite frightening to hear at night. At one point early in my analysis, I found a great deal of similarity between these Bigfoot creatures and the howler monkey. That was until 1962. In late 1962, early 1963, I was notified of a large human creature by the Redding Forest Service folks in California. I arranged for transport of the body to my primary location in Colorado. It was reported to me that the body was found under a large tree that had been violently struck by lightning and blown to the ground, apparently killing this creature. During my investigation, I found the animal to be very similar to those I had studied in the Bandera County area of Texas, with some marked differences. This northern version of C seemed to have the New World monkey attributes I noted in the Texas animals, known today as C. texicanus. However, there were unique traits found in the Pacific Northwest animal, known today as C. nertoros pacificus, including thumbs that are not entirely opposable, as we see in modern humans. C. nertorius pacificus' entire hand was truly designed for grip, including proximal pads, making the hand somewhat hooked-like, having flattened nails, resulting in my theory that these northern creatures developed in an evolutionary arboreal nature, while the Texas subfamily developed a troglodyne nature. This Pacific Northwest creature found in 1962 also had scent glands on her forearms. This is more evident that C. pacificus is arboreal to some extent, leaving scent marks up and down the trees while climbing. Not only was this creature smashed by the large tree, but she was also burningly bad with areas of lightning prints on exposed skin. I notated in my medical examination report of the body that it seemed as though lightning struck the animal, passing through the body and into the tree, subsequently weakening the tree and causing it to fall to the ground. It did seem as though the animal had fallen to the ground first, with the tree falling on top of her afterwards. But the evidence as to whether the animal fell first or with the tree is inconclusive. However, it is clear lightning struck the tree at a decent height at over 20 feet. Therefore, this animal must have been clinging to the trees at the time of the lightning strike. More evidence of the arboreal nature of C. pacificus. C. pacificus also has additional medial padding on the feet, which it would use to climb trees by clinging to the trees with its hands and support its weight. Both the C. pacificus and C. texicanus have oversized lower jaws, including massive sternocleidomastoid musculature. Sorry if I butchered that, guys. This must have been due to the rugged diet and, moreover, their need to crush bones. Their lower dentum at first looked as a row of second molars, but after years of research and examining the dead bodies of these animals, I have found that the lower molars are simply oversized or fused, resulting in massive bone-crushing tools. Due to their jaw size and bone-crushing dentum, it is also clear that all subfamilies of this creature are omnivorous, predaceous, and opportunistic. We did find that the female killed during the Columbus Day storm was pregnant with monozygotic embryos. All female sea bodies I have investigated through my career that have been pregnant have monozygotic embryos. This again incorporating additional evidence of a New World monkey relationship. Due to my investigations of the 1950 bodies in Texas and the 60s Columbus Day storm body, I submitted to the Department of Agriculture that this is a new Platyrrhini species and that a new family under the parv order should be created. Fellow scientists of mine disagreed, given the fact that the creature we examined in both cases were obviously bipedal and Catarrhini in terms of their nostrils facing downwards, or old world monkeys. However, the juveniles we have examined are much more Platyrrhini in terms of nostril breadth and position. I won the debate in the end due to the fact that no evidence thus far demonstrates that these creatures crossed over from the old world, but are simply new world monkeys adapting to their various stage areas within North and South America. I have since retired, and I know of some new University Utah scientists in Idaho who understand the genetics a bit better. Their findings are only supporting my original theorems, or at least I am told. These molecular biologists will soon understand the similarities with humans once the Human Genome Project is completed. As a result, I still refer to the Sasquatch species as C, with the following subfamilies. Alright, so here we go. He goes into a list of all the different Sasquatches and Yetis and Bigfoots. Are you guys ready for this? Now that word, Sabadatelidai, I'm just going to call C from now on, alright? C. Arctos, Arctic White Yeti. C. Pacificos, Lower Pacific Northwest. C. Santhos, Swamp. C. Americanus. C. Texicanus, named for Texas early 50s find, cave user. C. Amazonian. And then he goes on to say, any of these species found outside the New World must have originated from and migrated out of the New World. All my evidence with this primate has been post-mortem, save a few unique experiences in the wild. To my knowledge, a live specimen has never been captured, except for once, in Northern Research Station in California. However, the animal did not survive in captivity and died after only several days. I of course examined the body. There were many rumors that this captured Sasquatch was somehow magical and could shapeshift, and that is why it couldn't be found. The truth is, the folks at Northern Research Station were very devastated and embarrassed that the live specimen died so quickly after being in captivity. So no, they are not magical. They are highly intelligent primates. Having one die in captivity is very difficult to witness due to the human nature and feeling about the species. In reality, captivity will never be realistic for C because of their size and complex brains. Similar to captive white sharks, the species cannot thrive in captivity and quickly die as a protective mechanism. I have spent a great deal of my career as an expert for the federal government concerning C and throughout the world, including the bodies recovered in the 1980s due to the Mount St. Helens eruption. We made many recommendations to protect the species, but the Department of the Interior has a constant concern regarding the impact of such a decision due to the vast number of areas the species inhabits. Such a decision would have potential negative impact on the natural resource industry. The United States Forest Service is now working more towards creating protective wildlife refuges for the sea. The United States Forest Service and the Department of Interior is recognizing now that the natural resource industry is not the economic center as it once was. So a final decision has been made to finalize the Class 1 identification of the species. There is a 20-year ban to incorporate all wildlife protection areas throughout many areas of the United States to ensure federal land protection for C, starting with California, Colorado, Idaho, Oregon, Utah, and Washington. I was upset by this decision because the first location the species was identified scientifically was Texas. I petitioned, and as a result, the Government Canyon State Natural Area will be protected, open to the public, and expanded in Bexar County, Texas. The long-term plan will be to open each of these designated natural areas to the public. Once all the designated C natural areas are open to the public, the Department of Interior will announce the species as an endangered New World primate. I am not sure if this will happen, and the Government Canyon Natural Area will not be open to the public until 2005, and then expanded later in 2009, and then again in 2012. This will all happen long after I'm dead, I'm afraid. I am currently still living in Colorado, and I have attempted to journal my experience with the discovery of this new massive primate. The species is amazing, powerful, and deadly if angered. Like any animal, it will protect itself, its food source, and its young at all costs. Artiodactylia are C's primary food source. It is imperative that the federal government continue to designate natural areas. Otherwise, a scarce food source available to C will result in more opportunistic feeding behavior and closer interaction between humans and C. These creatures and human beings simply do not coexist. Alright, so there we go. Part 1 of this series. Now, Dr. Miller definitely presents a really good case with his journal that this creature is real, does he not? Now, like I said before, some people think this is a hoax. A lot of people think it's not. The next video coming up is going to be his assistant, researcher, and her journal and everything that she has in it. So wait till you guys hear this. I can't wait to tell it to you guys. And then after that, the videos coming up are going to be on the incidents that he's talking about. The Bigfoot that got struck by lightning by the tree, got crushed by the tree, and the Mount St. Helens Bigfoot incident. So if you guys like the video, make sure you hit the like button. Do me a favor, I'd like you guys to leave me some comments today when you watch this video and let me know what you think about this. Are there so many details that you just think that it must be true, or do you think it could be hoaxed? Alright, we'll leave it at that. Well, if you guys liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for me. I really do appreciate it. And always remember, where there's a WILLSTAR, there is a way. We'll see you guys later.